Hello everybody, it's me, LPS Lollipop Productions here, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back with another episode of my series Let's Chat, and today's topic is going to be on the stance of LPSTube. And by that I mean, is LPSTube dying? Is it already dead? Just my whole opinion on that topic. Now before I start, I just want to throw it out there that I am not intending to copy anybody with this video. I know this is something that a lot of people have talked about, and it's something people have been talking about for the past few years, I believe, so it's nothing new. I was inspired to talk about this by a number of people, as I was kind of saying there. Like, I know one of my very good friends, LPS Gemstone, made a video like this. It's amazing, you should watch it. And I know LPS Diamond Eyes a couple years back, I think, made a really good video talking about the fall of LPSTube and the whole idea. I'm not trying to copy, I'm just inspired by others and am very passionate about this myself too. So without further ado, let's just jump into things and start with my opinion. Do I think LPSTube is dying? No, I do not think LPSTube is dying. Although it's pretty clear to see that LPSTube isn't quite as popular as it was years ago, so there aren't as many people watching LPSTube or making LPS videos as there were in maybe about 2012 to 2015, I would say. I kind of consider those to be like the golden years of LPSTube. At that time period, there were a lot of people who were making really good quality videos very frequently. A lot of bigger LPS tubers like LPS Hannah, Go Green Girl, Eliza LPS, Sophie GTV, all of them were pretty active still. I consider anything before about 2012 or maybe late 2011 to be the beginning of LPSTube. So those are the really early years, so maybe about 2008 until 2011. And then after 2015, I believe LPSTube kind of started going down in popularity a bit. A lot of people would disagree with me because they think that 2017 or maybe 2018 even, they think those were really good years for LPSTube. Maybe I'm biased, but I think older years were more popular still. But don't let that confuse you, because the fact that something is less popular than it once was doesn't mean that it's dead or completely gone. Now, videos might not be getting as many views or likes as they were when LPS Hannah made skits like Dr. Thompson's Spooty. That was huge. Or some of the other ones, but don't let that fool you. Like I said, tons of people still are watching LPS videos and making LPS videos. Consider the fact that people like Sugar Diamond have grown like crazy over the past couple of years. If LPSTube was dead, that wouldn't have happened. The same goes for people like Sweet LPS TV. If the community really was dying, their channels wouldn't be growing at such a rapid rate. I think oftentimes the perception of LPSTube dying is more from people who see all of the old favorites quitting or moving on with their lives because they've grown up, and thinking that that means the whole community's gone. No, it doesn't. Maybe some of the big inspirations or core people creating content are no longer there, but that does not mean that there aren't other creators still trying their hardest. There are so many people in this smaller community who make such wonderful videos, they just haven't been discovered yet. Also, when you consider the rate of growth on some of those smaller channels, it's crazy. That kind of proves that LPSTube is still alive. Maybe not as big as it once was, but there's still a large community. So we can think of people like LPS Unoya and LPS Yana. They're in the smaller community, making amazing content, and growing. I am so proud of both of them, honestly. They've gotten so big super fast, and they deserve it because they put so much work into their videos. The same could be said about anybody in the small community though. One of the things that I love about it is I feel like everybody who is in the smaller community has a huge passion for it. Sometimes in the bigger community, like really big LPS tubers kind of lose the passion, unfortunately. Mind you, this isn't always the case. Most of them are pretty passionate about it still, I can tell. But sometimes I guess people, they get older and they kind of grow out of it, or they don't have the drive anymore to make new fun content because they don't really have to. People will watch it anyway. I'm not bashing anybody, sorry if it came across that way. Yeah, I guess I feel like the main issue with people thinking LPSTube is dying is they don't look at the smaller community. They just look at the really big channels. And honestly, if there are smaller channels who feel like they're not growing or nobody watches them, or that the community just, I don't know. I feel like the people in the smaller community who think that that isn't even there is because they're not watching other people within that community, if you get what I mean. So for example, before I quit, nobody was watching me, and I think part of that was because I wasn't engaging with my community at all. I was engaging with the larger community and watching all of their content, but I wasn't looking at stuff that was at the same level as my own. So I guess I became very uninspired because some of the people that I really enjoyed were quitting and stuff like that. That isn't why I quit, but I do think it had part of it because I didn't have my own community to support me. I hadn't discovered the people who were making all this amazing content who were like me that hadn't got thousands of subscribers yet. I will say that LPSTube in some ways is very different than it once was. I would appreciate if some people can tell me their opinions on this because I'm not sure at this point, but I'm not so sure who the big group of LPSTubers are anymore. So what I mean by this is back when I was younger, I had a very clear idea in mind of, okay, these are the big LPSTubers. These guys are great, I love their videos, and they kind of just inspired everybody and were the core of LPSTube, if you will. So maybe just because they were my big inspirations, but first ones that come to mind for me are LPS Hannah and Go Green Girl, and Sophie GTV, of course. Those guys were all huge and really inspiring everybody. Others who come close behind are people like Eliza LPS. My LPS Pet World was really big. Who else? There's a lot that I'm probably not thinking of right now, but I guess you guys get the idea. I'm not sure who would fit that criteria at this point. It's hard to say. Who are the really big LPSTubers? Would that be like Puppy Lover? Oh, Puppy Lover 863 was in the old one. She's still in the new one, honestly. She's really popular. But I feel like maybe LPS Splash TV? Sugar Diamond? I really don't know who would be up there anymore. So if you guys would let me know like your opinions on that, I think that'd be pretty cool. Another one would be the content style itself. For example, if you look at older LPS videos, they all kind of have a clear thing going on. I don't know how to describe it. Some people say that my videos make them nostalgic or remind them of old LPSTube, which genuinely makes me so happy. If that's what my videos are to people, that's a win in my eyes. But I think that part of the issue now is people haven't seen yet the new generation of LPSTube, because it's coming in. That's what we're moving to. If you consider that the big LPSTubers who have now moved on were the age that a lot of us are now as we're making these, that's crazy because we could kind of take that position for the next few years until more LPSTubers come in. If they do, that's a sad thought, but you know what? We're not gonna think about that. So people I think of when I think of the new generation, my friend LPS Rainbow TV, Sweet LPS TV probably. I feel like LPS Yana, I know I mentioned her already, but she's gonna be up there, Yunoya. Any of my friends, I feel like they're definitely gonna be iconic LPSTubers in the near future. It's just interesting to think, right? Because we looked up to these people for so long, and now they've moved on, so who's gonna be there next? There's gotta be somebody. I don't know if I'll ever get as big as any of them. Like, I can't imagine having anything around 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. Even 10,000 would be insane to me. Even a few thousand, like 5,000? That's kind of crazy. Don't know if I'll ever get there, but I can hope, I can dream. Maybe someday. I'm kind of rambling, but I think you guys are probably seeing the point that I'm getting at. There are still so many amazing creators that just have yet to be discovered by a broad audience. And honestly, I feel like a lot of the content being made within the small community is just as good, if not better some of it, I didn't say that, than some of the really big LPSTubers. It's about equal ground, honestly. The acting, sets, camera work, everything has such an immense effort put into it that I don't see why more people aren't watching it, but at the same, it's like our little secret for now until more people find us. You know, it's kind of crazy just to think about all of it. Who knows, one of us in the small community might post one video and then it takes off and then they're the next big LPSTuber. Could you imagine that? Like, seeing somebody go from about 800 to 1,000 subscribers, then 50,000 in a matter of months or like a year or so. But moving from that slightly, I want to go back to the idea of the decrease in popularity of LPSTube, because it's clear to see that it's still quite popular, but I suppose the difference is before LPS were in stores like these ones were, and when they weren't, they had just recently gone out, and people who were watching those videos when the pets were still in stores, a lot of them were still watching it when they went out. The community was very strong and large because I guess people who were purchasing the toys when they were in stores were still at a young enough age to enjoy LPSTube. In most people's eyes, I say, because I'm enjoying LPSTube now, and I might be out of that age for some people. LPS are generally directed at little kids, and I'm not a little kid anymore, so I think you get what I mean though. The target audience of LPS were purchasing LPS and then finding LPSTube, and some later grew out of it, decreasing the popularity of LPSTube a little bit. But I think a big factor to a decrease in popularity with LPSTube is the new LPS, how frequently Hasbro has been changing them, and the lack of marketing. So I can't remember the last time I saw an LPS commercial on TV. It must have been before I quit LPSTube the first time. So to give you an idea, that's around 2017. That's gonna decrease the chances of them finding LPSTube because they're not gonna necessarily look up LPS on YouTube because they're not into LPS, they're not finding them. It seems that currently a lot of people stumble upon LPSTube accidentally as opposed to because of an interest in the toys themselves. I think the thing to consider is why we were getting so many LPSTubers quitting around the same time who were big is because they were all around the same age when they started making LPS videos and getting to a higher status. So they're all going to be at the same age when they're moving on, or roughly around that. Some people stay longer because they're making a living off of it, or are trying to pursue LPSTube still, but others move on to new jobs, or have families, so it's kind of hard to expect somebody to hold on to LPSTube forever, although I'm gonna try to hold on to it for as long as humanly possible. If anything is dying on LPSTube, I think some of it is honestly the passion that people have. So if you keep having fun with it and making the videos that you enjoy, then LPSTube is alive. There are a lot of us who still care deeply about this community, and I know that because I can see it, and I am one of those people. So the long and short of things, I know I've been rambling like crazy in this. It's not dead. It's not dying. And I think that it's gonna take a while for this to happen. I was talking about it a little bit before how I miss bits of the old LPSTube. The passion that the small community had in quarantine was reminding me of that. So if we could keep that up, then that'd be great. You don't have to be posting every day, that's not expected, but just keep sending love to other people in the community at least, you know, lift others up. That's what we need. I think they deserve some support, so if you can, after watching this, please go comment on all of your favorite small creators' videos and say something positive about their content. Comment on this video saying your favorite small creator in the LPS community and what you love about them and their channel. Just please say your favorite smaller creator in the comments, or comment on one of their videos, say something positive about them. That's what our discussion can be today. So what do you think about the concept of LPSTube dying, and something positive about a smaller creator, because we need to bring each other together more. It's great having this little community, so we need to embrace it. And who knows, maybe if we do, we will all rise up to the top together. I think that's about all that I can think of that I wanted to say for now for this video. But like I said, we can open up a bigger discussion about this in the comments, as we always do. And I really appreciate all of you who sat through this. I really appreciate just all the support you guys give me. It always means a lot. And with that, like I always say, I love you all a lot, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!